You're watching Bucs Breakdown presented by Prize Picks. My name is Reed Barkis. Wherever you're watching, whenever you're watching, hope you're having a great day today. Coming up on today's show, the NFL media is sleeping on the Buccaneers' offensive weapons. And I'm going to tell you why, because this ESPN article ranked the wide receiver, tight end, and running back groups for 2026. Best and worst NFL teams. The Bucs rankings in 2024, number 13. Last year, number 7. This year, number 22. So that's what we're going to be talking about on today's show. And this is why you subscribe. ESPN Plus is $120 a year. Bucs Breakdown, $0 a year. You don't have to pay anything to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you were subscribed to ESPN Plus, you'd be looking at this article and you'd be like, why am I even paying $120 a year to watch to see this bull crap about number 22 ranking in 2026, heading into 2026? It's just unbelievable. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button for $0 a year. I guarantee you'll like it a lot better than ESPN. All right, so the rankings are based on 2026 projections, injuries count, which that definitely hurts the ranking, but last year we had injuries as well, and we were number 7. So, okay. And then wide receiver is a greater ranking, and it holds more precedent than running back and tight end. So it's a little bit more heavy on the wide receiver rather than the other two. And it's top 5 contributors on offense in those positions. So let's look at the rankings. ESPN ranked the Dolphins at 32, the Giants, the Browns, the Bills, the Panthers at 28, which kind of makes sense. The Commanders at 27. The Commanders had a crazy drop-off in the last couple of years. The Las Vegas Raiders, the Titans, and then at 24, the Texans, 23, the Broncos, and 22, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we'll just round out the rest of the list. The top 16 going with the Ravens and the Bears, Colts, Saints there at 13. The Jets, I don't know how the Jets are up at 12. That's kind of crazy. The Seahawks, Patriots, Eagles, and then to round out the last top 8, Vikings, Cowboys, Cardinals, 49ers, Falcons, Bengals, Rams, and the Lions. Now, going back to our ranking, 22 feels low, no? Like, 2024, we were 13. 2025, last year, going into the year, we were number 7. And then all of a sudden, we jumped to 22. Maybe I'm missing something, but feels awfully low. I don't know if you guys agree as well. But let's see what ESPN's Bill Barnwell had to say. The Bucs are one of the tougher teams around the league to evaluate heading into 2026. Obviously, losing Mike Evans without making a significant addition in response to going to drop Tampa Bay a bit. A bit? Dude, you dropped them to 22 after 7. Like, even if Evans was comprised for most of last season by injuries. I'm excited about third-round pick Ted Hurst III's upside, given his high-end athleticism, but the Georgia State product might need a year to adjust to stiffer competition in the NFL before making a larger impact in 2027. Okay, so sounds like Mike Evans has a huge role in this ranking, I guess, because as soon as he leaves the team, we're down to 22. Like, this is, you can see on screen right now the stats of Mike Evans last year. I mean, I will say it again. When Mike Evans was on the field, he was great. When he was on the field, he was getting injured left and right. I love Mike Evans. He's a legend. But towards the end of his Bucs tenure, he couldn't stay on the field. Like, he missed 8 games last year with a concussion, a broken collarbone, and his hamstring. And then you see it on screen. 2024, hamstring, missed 3 games. Hamstring injury again, he missed a game. Hamstring, missed 3 games. Like, and he's just on and off and questionable. And it just, the fact that now that he's gone, and then we go all the way to 22, how much does he hold on our offensive weapon? Like, I get, yes, he was very, very good, but that was when he was healthy. So why is it different now where going into the season, it's like, oh yeah, if he stays healthy, like, I don't know. I don't know if that feels fair, I guess. But coming up, we're going to talk more about what ESPN had to say about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver, running back, and tight end room, and we'll see what happens because I want to see the explanation because whatever ESPN says, I'm going to rebuttal with what I think is actually going on in Tampa Bay Buccaneers because that's what we do. We cover the actual Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not the entire NFL. So I think we know a little bit more. But we're going to talk about that coming up. But I want to give a huge shout out to our presenting sponsor, and that is PrizePicks. If you guys have not already joined PrizePicks, you guys are missing out on a fun way to win some money while watching sports. Now, the World Cup is obviously going on, so if you want to get in on the action, make sure to download the app today. Use code HMA. You'll get $50 in lineups instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. I've been using it since 2022, so that should tell you that it's a great app to use. It's simple to use, too. Just pick more or less on a few player stats, lock in your lineup, and with the social feeds feature, you can follow me on the app, at Rebarkus, to check out my profile, my lineups I submit. For example, we got this one for the USA against, Bosnia, right? Yeah, who cares? We're going to win anyways. But Christian Pulisic with the more than half a goal. That is a demon, which is a little bit tougher because he is coming off injury. But shout out to PrizePicks. They have a great deal. They have a max discount for his passes attempted. I think he's going to pass more than half a pass. And then I am not even going to try to say the name of the guy on my first lineup. But this is a 6.5 multiplier to win 162 and 50 cents. Can't forget about that 50 cents. So PrizePicks has an offer for new users. Download the app today with the link in the comments and description. Use code HMA. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. One more time, that's code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Make sure to get in on the action for the World Cup. All right, let's go back to what ESPN was saying. What can we count on from the Bucs' new Big Three in 2026? Emeka Egbuka was awesome to start the season, averaging 2.3 yards per route through Week 10. He was down to 1.3 afterward, below guys such as Adonai Mitchell and Xavier Hutchinson. Weird. All right. Chris Godwin Jr. came back from his gruesome ankle injury, dealt with fibula issues after initially returning, and wasn't back for good until Week 12. He had solid games against the Cardinals and Dolphins, but at 30 and with multiple serious injuries in the past, I'm not sure he's realistic to project a peak caliber season from Godwin even after Evans' departure. So I understand that injuries have a major part in this, but it was also a major part in last year. Emeka Egbuka, he had a great start to the season, but injuries in the wide receiver room caused him to move around, and it just got him out of the groove. He was not being used properly, and it ruined the offense. It ruined the offense for Baker Mayfield as well. And Chris Godwin, obviously, if he can stay healthy, he's going to be good. But, I understand Chris Godwin is not Mike Evans, but let's just not gloss over the fact that Chris Godwin is still a fantastic wide receiver. That is known, right? We know exactly what Chris Godwin has been for the last 9 seasons, okay? Last year, obviously, he deals with injuries, but he's healthy this year. And if you've seen any of the reports coming out of it, he looks like his old self. That's what Baker Mayfield has said. That's what the coaches have said. So, yes, injuries matter, but he's at full health now. And he is going to be the Chris Godwin that we know. Godwin is fantastic in the middle of the field. I think we forget how good he is at getting open, boxing out cornerbacks. He is fantastic in finding the open space in the middle of the field and not dropping the ball. He is very consistent and a reliable target. Everyone's like, oh, Mike Evans is gone. Now Chris Godwin's got to step up, and I don't know if he can fill those shoes. Chris Godwin is fantastic. In his career, 812 targets, 578 receptions, only 23 drops. That is a 2.8 drop percentage. I think that's pretty dang good and a consistent, reliable option for Baker Mayfield. And we've seen what Chris Godwin can do. I think he's going to be very, very good in 2026. But ESPN apparently does not think so. So who has a bigger impact in 2026? I want to ask you guys right now. Let me know in the comments section. Emeka Buka, type 2, or Chris Godwin, type 14. These guys are going to be the leaders of this wide receiver group. And I think Emeka Buka is probably going to have a bigger impact in terms of, the production. But I think Chris Godwin is going to take over that leadership role in the locker room, in the wide receiver group, and be that veteran guy that people can look to. And I think that's going to be his impact rather than the production. I still think he's going to have production like he did in seasons past. So let me know down in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you guys. Moving on to what ESPN had to say. Bucky Irving was also sidelined for 2 months by foot and shoulder injuries. And across his 2 stretches of active play, he averaged just 3.4 yards per carry. Irving turned down. Sorry, guys, I can't read. Irving turned only 6.4% of his design rush attempts into 10-plus yards gained, down from 13% as a rookie. The Bucs swapped out Rachaad White for Kenny Gainwell, who was wildly productive for the Steelers in a situational role. And there's a chance that he is Tampa's best back. I love Kenneth Gainwell. I love the signing of Kenny Gainwell. But Tampa's best back? Do we forget Bucky Irving's rookie year? I love Kenneth Gainwell. Don't get me wrong. I love the signing. But guys, let's not forget how fantastic Bucky Irving was in his rookie season. In 2024, he had 207 carries for 1,100 yards, averaging 5.4 yards a carry. And then in the receiving game, he was pretty good as well. 47 receptions for almost 400 yards and 8 total touchdowns. And by the way, Bucky is ahead of schedule. He was out there for OTAs. He was out there for minicamp, taking handoffs from Baker Mayfield. He sat out in the team periods, but he was still getting work done. He was still getting work in on the sideline as well. He'll be ready for training camp. So okay, like injuries will hurt this ranking. Injuries have a major part in the rankings of the offensive weapons for these teams. Okay. Then look at Tampa's best back. You said it. ESPN said it. Tampa's best back. We're forgetting about Bucky Irving. Bowles said it was going to be 1A, 1B, right? So that should be a major part in the ranking. Because Kenneth Gainwell, like you said, had a fantastic year last year with the Steelers. 537 rushing yards, 486 receiving yards. He is a versatile back. And you get him in the backfield with Bucky Irving, it's going to be a 1-2 punch. Honestly, guys, I just feel like this is a Mike Evans drop in ranking. Oh, the Bucs lost their veteran and great legendary wide receiver to the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, they're going to suck next year. They have no weapons on the outside or with the running backs. And losing Mike Evans is why we're at number 22 when we were at 7 last year. Is he that much of a factor in our offense? He was, but it's not like we're going to roll over and die. We have a lot of offensive weapons. And by the way, where's Cade Otton? It's wide receiver, running back, tight end. No mention of Cade Otton. He's not a superstar tight end, but we just brought him back for the next 3 years on a great $10 million contract. $10 million a year. He is not just a random tight end. He is fantastic in the red zone, and he's not going to put up crazy numbers on your screen right now, but he is a reliable, consistent target at the tight end position, and the no mention of him is wild. Because if you're going to be talking about the wide receivers, the running backs, and the tight ends, I get wide receiver is more of a factor in the rankings. You can't just not mention the tight end when he's clearly a big part of the offense and a pivotal part of the offense in terms of the red zone, the run blocking. I don't know. I saw this and I'm like, okay, everyone's sleeping on what the Buccaneers are going to be able to do in 2026. Now, taking a look at where our rivals are, because I always like to do this when we see rankings like this. We're going to see where are our foes, right? The Falcons are up at number 4, which, honestly, when you think about it, Kyle Pitts, yes, he's an exciting player, and he likes to destroy us when we play him. But also, Bijan Robinson is the main reason why they're at number 4. And that's fair, I feel like, right? They have, Drake London and then nobody else. So it's like, if wide receiver is so big in the rankings, like, Drake London is great, yeah, but I think Bijan Robinson's why they're there. The Saints being at 13, Jawan Johnson is the tight end that they're referring to, and Alvin Kamara maybe, or Travis Etienne. I don't know. This feels, the Panthers, yeah, they're at 28. That's fine, but 22 for us. I feel like we should be closer to the top 10 range. That's just me. But you be honest with me. Where would you rank the Buccaneers wide receiver, running back, and tight end room in the NFL? Do you agree with the 22? Or do you think we're worse? Do you think we're better? I think all of you out there should think we are a lot better than. I get that Ted Hurst is going to be a rookie, but I think he's going to provide a lot of production for this wide receiver room. I think a lot more than we think. So let me know down in the comments section. I want to see where your guys' head's at. Maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know. If you guys have made it to the end of today's show, make sure to hit the subscribe button and join us for all the off-season stuff that we're going to be talking about. News, rumors, anything going on with Baker Mayfield's contract and Vita Vea as well. We'll be back for another video this week, so make sure you stay tuned. And as always, fire the cannon.